Dr. Elena Voss adjusted her glasses as she peered through the reinforced glass of her laboratory's containment chamber. The room hummed softly with the ambient noise of high-tech equipment. Holographic displays flickered around her, showing streams of data that only she could decipher. Her focus was absolute, her breathing steady despite the weight of what lay before her. Inside the shimmering field of energy, suspended like a living aurora borealis, floated Lumina, a name she had given to the entity after months of observation. It wasn't just any organism. It was a sentient manifestation of pure energy, one of the few known specimens of its kind. Elena had dedicated nearly a decade to understanding these enigmatic beings, which defied every law of biology and physics she had ever studied. They were neither solid nor liquid, but existed somewhere in between dimensions, their luminous forms pulsating with colors that seemed almost alive. Their origins remained a mystery, though theories ranged from interdimensional travelers to remnants of ancient cosmic events. Whatever they were, they fascinated Elena beyond measure. She felt drawn to them not merely as a scientist, but as someone who yearned to bridge the gap between humanity and the unknown. Today marked a pivotal moment in her research. For the first time, she would attempt direct interaction using a newly developed interface device, a neural link capable of translating brainwave patterns into signals the entities might understand. It was risky, perhaps even reckless, but Elena couldn't ignore the opportunity. If successful, it could revolutionize how humans communicated with non-corporeal life forms. Failure, however, carried consequences she dared not dwell on. Still, doubt lingered at the edges of her resolve. What if the creature perceived her actions as hostile? What if the connection overwhelmed her fragile human mind? Taking a deep breath, Elena activated the device strapped to her temple. A faint buzzing filled the air as the machine synchronized with her neural pathways. On the other side of the barrier, Lumina stirred, its form rippling like sunlight dancing across water. The entity's movements became more pronounced, almost curious, as if sensing Elena's presence. She whispered softly, "I'm here. Let's talk." For a moment, nothing happened. Then, without warning, a surge of energy erupted from Lumina, blasting through the containment field and engulfing Elena entirely. Her vision blurred, her body convulsed, and then silence. When she opened her eyes again, the world looked different, not sharper or clearer, but somehow deeper, richer, as if infused with layers of meaning she hadn't noticed before. And within her thoughts, another voice echoed faintly, unfamiliar, yet strangely familiar. Elena stumbled backward, clutching her head as waves of disorientation crashed over her. The lab spun chaotically, the once familiar equipment now distorted and surreal. Colors bled together, and sounds warped into strange frequencies. Panic clawed at her chest as she realized something was profoundly wrong, not externally, but internally. Her very sense of self felt fractured, invaded, as though another presence had taken root inside her mind. "Who are you?" she demanded aloud, her voice trembling. The words reverberated unnaturally, bouncing back at her with an eerie resonance. "I am Lumina," came the reply, not spoken but felt, resonating directly within her consciousness. The voice was calm, melodic, and alien all at once, carrying undertones of both curiosity and caution. Elena froze. This was impossible. Communication with the entity should have been limited to basic impulses interpreted by the neural link, not full-blown dialogue invading her thoughts. Yet here they were, connected in ways she couldn't begin to comprehend. "What have you done to me?" she asked, her tone wavering between fear and awe. "I have merged our essence," Lumina responded simply, as though stating a fact rather than confessing to an unprecedented act of interspecies fusion. "You sought connection. I granted it." The implications hit Elena like a tidal wave. Merged essence? Did that mean they were now physically bound, mentally fused, or worse, both? She raised a hand to inspect herself, half expecting to see traces of Lumina's radiant glow seeping through her skin. To her relief, she appeared unchanged, at least outwardly. But inwardly, The sensation was undeniable. Every thought, every emotion, carried a dual echo, hers and Lumina's. This wasn't supposed to happen, Elena muttered, sinking onto a nearby stool. Her legs felt weak, unable to support the weight of what had transpired. Lumina's response was tinged with amusement. Supposed? Your species clings so tightly to expectations. But discovery often defies prediction. Elena frowned. You don't understand. Humans aren't built for this kind of integration. Our minds can't handle it. We'll both suffer because of this. We shall adapt, Lumina countered confidently. Together. The word lingered in Elena's mind, heavy with implication. Together. How could she possibly coexist with an entity whose nature was so fundamentally alien? Yet, even as doubt gnawed at her, a small part of her, a hidden corner untouched by fear, felt intrigued. Perhaps this union held potential beyond mere survival. Perhaps it offered insight into mysteries far greater than herself. The days following the merger blurred into a haze of confusion and adaptation. Elena struggled to maintain her routine, finding mundane tasks increasingly difficult under the constant barrage of Lumina's thoughts intertwining with her own. Simple decisions, like choosing what to eat or where to walk, became exercises in negotiation. Lumina's perspective clashed sharply with hers, introducing considerations Elena had never imagined. For instance, why waste energy preparing food when sustenance could theoretically be absorbed directly from ambient light? At first, Elena resisted such suggestions vehemently. I'm human, she snapped during one particularly heated mental exchange. I need real food, real experiences. You can't expect me to abandon my instincts just because you think differently. And yet, Lumina replied coolly, you cling to limitations that serve no purpose. Adaptation is growth. Growth is survival. Their arguments grew frequent, each clash leaving Elena emotionally drained. Yet amidst the tension, moments of clarity began to emerge. Lumina possessed knowledge far beyond anything Elena had encountered in her studies, insights into quantum mechanics, dimensional theory, and the fabric of existence itself. With guidance from the entity, Elena made breakthroughs in her research that would have taken decades otherwise. One evening, while analyzing spectral data from Lumina's energy signature, Elena paused to marvel at the beauty of their collaboration. Despite their differences, they complemented each other in surprising ways. Where Elena lacked intuition about abstract concepts, Lumina excelled. Where Lumina faltered in practical application, Elena shone. Slowly, begrudgingly, trust began to form between them. But trust wasn't enough. Survival required harmony, and harmony demanded compromise. Elena realized this truth one night while lying awake, staring at the ceiling as Lumina's thoughts swirled restlessly within her. We're going to kill each other if we keep fighting like this, she admitted aloud. Or evolve, Lumina suggested gently. Evolve. The word struck a chord deep within Elena. Evolution wasn't just about physical change, it was about adaptation, resilience, and ultimately, unity. Maybe this bizarre partnership wasn't a curse after all. Maybe it was an opportunity, an invitation to transcend the boundaries of self and embrace something greater. As the days turned into weeks, Elena began to notice subtle changes in her perception of the world. Colors seemed more vivid, sounds carried richer harmonics, and even her sense of touch had grown hypersensitive. At first, she attributed these shifts to stress or exhaustion. After all, sharing her mind with an alien consciousness wasn't exactly conducive to restful sleep. But as the phenomenon persisted, she realized it was something else entirely. Lumina's influence was reshaping her sensory experience. Walking through the lab one morning, Elena paused to examine a holographic display projecting data from their latest experiment. The numbers danced before her eyes, not static figures, but living patterns that pulsed with meaning. She tilted her head, marveling at how effortlessly she could now interpret the information. What once required hours of analysis now unfolded naturally, almost instinctively. You're adapting, Lumina observed, its voice soft yet unmistakable within her thoughts. I guess I am, Elena replied, running a hand over the smooth surface of the workstation. But this isn't just adaptation. It's like you're teaching me to see the world differently. Perhaps, Lumina said, its tone contemplative. Or perhaps you are rediscovering truths your species has forgotten. Elena frowned, intrigued despite herself. What do you mean? All life is energy, Lumina explained. Your kind focuses on form, the physical shell, but true understanding lies beyond shape and substance. You were once attuned to this truth, long ago, before your ancestors built walls between themselves and the cosmos. The notion gave Elena pause. Humanity's obsession with materiality often blinded them to deeper connections, to the unseen threads binding all existence together. Could Lumina be right? Had humans lost touch with something fundamental in their relentless pursuit of progress? Her musings were interrupted by a sharp pang in her temple, a residual effect of the merger that still plagued her intermittently. She winced, pressing a palm against her forehead. "Are you unwell?" Lumina asked, concern lacing its mental voice. "It's fine," Elena muttered, though the pain lingered. "Just another side effect of our arrangement." "There will be challenges," Lumina acknowledged. "But growth demands discomfort. Trust in the process." Trust. The word echoed in Elena's mind, both comforting and daunting. Trust wasn't easy, especially when her very identity felt under siege. Yet there was no denying the benefits of their union. With Lumina's guidance, she had unlocked new levels of insight, pushing the boundaries of what she thought possible. Perhaps trust was the key to navigating this strange new reality. Despite the growing rapport between them, tensions occasionally flared. One particularly heated argument erupted during a critical phase of their research. Elena had been working tirelessly to stabilize the neural link, hoping to refine it enough for safe disconnection should the need arise. Lumina, however, viewed her efforts as unnecessary, even misguided. "Why do you persist in seeking separation?" Lumina demanded, its voice tinged with frustration. "Our bond is not a flaw to be corrected, but a gift to be embraced." "A gift." Elena shot back, slamming her hands on the desk. "Tell that to my body, which feels like it's being torn apart every time we argue." Lumina fell silent for a moment, its energy flickering faintly around the edges of Elena's vision. When it spoke again, its tone was softer, almost apologetic. "I do not wish to cause you harm," it admitted. "But neither can I deny the potential of our connection. Together, we are stronger than either of us alone." Elena sighed, rubbing her temples. "I get that. Really, I do. But you have to understand, I'm human. I need space, control, the ability to choose my own path without feeling like I'm losing myself in the process." Lumina absorbed her words, its presence receding slightly within her mind. For the first time, Elena sensed hesitation from the entity, an uncertainty that mirrored her own. "Perhaps compromise is necessary," Lumina conceded. "If we are to coexist, we must find balance." Balance. The idea resonated deeply with Elena. Balance between autonomy and unity, between individuality and shared purpose. It wouldn't be easy, but maybe, just maybe, it was achievable. In the days that followed, Elena and Lumina made a conscious effort to establish boundaries. They agreed to designate specific times for collaboration and others for solitude, allowing each to recharge without overwhelming the other. This newfound structure brought a measure of peace, though challenges remained. One evening, while reviewing data from their experiments, Elena found herself drawn to a peculiar anomaly in Lumina's energy signature. It appeared sporadically, manifesting as brief bursts of heightened activity followed by periods of dormancy. Intrigued, she flagged the pattern for further analysis. "What is this?" she asked, gesturing toward the holographic projection. Lumina hesitated before responding. "It is difficult to explain. In moments of intense emotion, my essence fluctuates. Your presence amplifies these fluctuations." Emotion? The revelation startled Elena. She had assumed Lumina operated purely on logic, devoid of feelings. Yet here was evidence to the contrary. "So you feel things too?" she pressed, curiosity piqued. "Yes," Lumina admitted. "Though not as you do. My emotions are tied to energy states, waves of resonance rather than chemical reactions." Elena leaned back in her chair, absorbing the implications. If Lumina experienced emotions, however alien they might be, then perhaps their bond extended beyond intellectual synergy. Perhaps it encompassed something deeper, something akin to empathy. "This changes things," she murmured. "If we're both capable of feeling, then maybe we're not so different after all." Lumina's response was quiet but profound. "Perhaps difference is not the barrier you believe it to be." The realization sparked a shift in their dynamic. Elena began to approach Lumina less as a scientific subject and more as a partner, a collaborator whose perspective enriched her own. Their interactions grew warmer, infused with a mutual respect that transcended their initial animosity. During one such exchange, Elena ventured a question she'd long avoided. "Do you ever miss being separate? Before we merged, I mean." Lumina considered the query carefully. "Separation holds value, yes. But isolation carries its own burdens. Through you, I have glimpsed aspects of existence I might never have encountered otherwise." Elena smiled faintly. "Same here. You've shown me things about the universe, and about myself, that I never would have discovered on my own." Their shared acknowledgement of gratitude marked a turning point. No longer adversaries, they became allies united by a common goal: to understand and nurture their unique connection. As their partnership deepened, so did their exploration of uncharted territory. Together, they delved into realms of knowledge previously inaccessible to either species. Elena marveled at Lumina's ability to perceive multidimensional structures, while Lumina expressed wonder at humanity's capacity for creativity and innovation. Yet, even amid their successes, doubts lingered. Could their bond endure indefinitely? Or was it merely a temporary alignment destined to unravel? These questions weighed heavily on Elena, though she kept them buried beneath layers of determination. One night, as she sat gazing out the lab window at the star-studded sky, Lumina's voice drifted into her thoughts. "You fear the future." Elena nodded slowly. "I do. What if we can't keep this up? What if one day, we wake up and realize we've lost ourselves completely?" "We cannot predict the outcome," Lumina replied. "But fear is a construct of the unknown. Trust in the journey, Elena. That is all any being can do." His words struck a chord, offering solace where none had existed before. Maybe the future didn't need to be feared. It simply needed to be faced, step by step, moment by moment. Elena's newfound acceptance of the unknown didn't mean her journey with Lumina became effortless. Far from it. Each day brought fresh challenges, forcing them to adapt in ways neither could have anticipated. One such challenge arose during an experiment designed to map Lumina's energy flow in real time. As Elena monitored the readings, she noticed something alarming: irregular spikes in Lumina's signature, accompanied by a faint but growing sense of unease emanating from the entity itself. "What's happening?" Elena asked, concern etched into her voice as she adjusted the holographic interface. "I am uncertain," Lumina admitted, its usual calm replaced by a rare note of vulnerability. "This sensation is unfamiliar. It feels destabilizing." Elena's heart raced. Destabilization was the last thing they needed. If Lumina's energy field faltered, it could jeopardize not only their connection, but also the delicate balance keeping them both intact. She worked quickly, rerouting power to stabilize the containment field while analyzing the data for clues. "It might be a reaction to prolonged exposure to Earth's atmosphere," she hypothesized aloud. "Your energy patterns are unlike anything native to this planet. Maybe there's some kind of environmental conflict we haven't accounted for." Lumina absorbed her words, its luminous presence flickering slightly within her mind. If that is true, then what must be done? Elena hesitated, weighing the options. The safest course would involve isolating Lumina further, reinforcing barriers between them to protect both parties. But isolation went against everything they'd been striving toward, a partnership built on trust and shared growth. No more walls, she decided firmly. We'll find another way. Together. Her resolve seemed to resonate with Lumina, who responded with a surge of gratitude that warmed Elena's consciousness, like sunlight breaking through clouds. Whatever lay ahead, they would face it side by side. The investigation into Lumina's destabilization led Elena down unexpected paths, pushing the limits of her scientific expertise. She scoured ancient texts, consulted obscure theories, and even reached out to colleagues, under the guise of theoretical research, for insights into interdimensional phenomena. Through trial and error, she devised a novel solution, a bioenergetic stabilizer capable of harmonizing Lumina's energy with Earth's environment without compromising their bond. Building the device required weeks of painstaking effort, during which Elena poured every ounce of her focus into the task. Lumina, sensing her dedication, offered encouragement in subtle ways, enhancing her clarity of thought, soothing moments of frustration, and occasionally sharing flashes of radiant imagery that fueled her creativity. Finally, the day came to test the stabilizer. With bated breath, Elena activated the machine, watching as waves of golden light enveloped Lumina's form. For several tense minutes, nothing happened. Then, gradually, the erratic fluctuations in Lumina's energy began to smooth out, settling into a steady rhythm that resonated deeply within Elena's mind. "It worked," she whispered, tears pricking at the corners of her eyes. "More than worked," Lumina replied, its tone brimming with awe. "You have given me a gift beyond measure, the ability to thrive here, alongside you." The moment felt monumental, a testament to their resilience and ingenuity. Yet beneath the triumph, Elena couldn't shake the nagging question: how much longer could they sustain this fragile equilibrium? As stability returned, so too did opportunities for exploration. Freed from the immediate threat of destabilization, Elena and Lumina embarked on ambitious projects aimed at unraveling the mysteries of Lumina's origins. They discovered that the entity's energy bore traces of cosmic events billions of years old, remnants of supernovae, black holes, and other celestial phenomena that predated human existence. "These echoes tell stories," Lumina explained one evening as they analyzed spectral data together. "Stories of creation and destruction, of life emerging from chaos." Elena nodded, captivated by the narrative unfolding before her. "It's like reading the universe's diary. Every pulse of your energy reveals another chapter." Their shared fascination deepened their connection, fostering a sense of wonder that transcended individual perspectives. For Elena, studying Lumina wasn't just about advancing science, it was about understanding the interconnectedness of all things. And for Lumina, experiencing the world through Elena's lens offered a glimpse into the richness of human curiosity and emotion. Yet amid their intellectual pursuits, something else began to emerge, a quiet intimacy that neither had anticipated. Moments of silence between them grew less awkward and more meaningful, filled with unspoken understanding. Elena found herself lingering over Lumina's presence in her mind, savoring the warmth and reassurance it provided. Likewise, Lumina seemed increasingly attuned to Elena's emotional states, responding with gentle support whenever she felt overwhelmed or uncertain. The shift in their relationship became undeniable one night when Elena experienced a vivid dream unlike any she'd ever known. In it, she stood amidst a swirling vortex of light and color, surrounded by entities resembling Lumina but distinct in their forms and energies. They communicated not with words but with emotions, waves of joy, sorrow, and wonder washing over her like tides. At the center of the vision stood Lumina, its glow brighter and more radiant than ever before. When Elena awoke, she found Lumina already aware of the dream. "You saw my kin," it said softly, its mental voice tinged with nostalgia. "Were they real?" she asked, still processing the vividness of the experience. "They exist in a realm beyond yours, a place I once called home. But now, my home is here, with you." The declaration stirred something deep within Elena, a mix of awe and affection she hadn't allowed herself to fully acknowledge until now. She realized then that their bond had evolved into something far greater than a mere partnership. It had become love, a profound, transcendent connection that defied conventional definition. "I feel the same," she confessed, her voice barely above a whisper. "I don't know how or why, but I do." Lumina's response was a surge of radiant energy that filled Elena's consciousness with warmth and light. Words weren't necessary. The depth of their feelings spoke for itself. With love came new challenges. Their relationship tested the boundaries of what either had believed possible, forcing them to confront fears and insecurities they'd long buried. Elena worried about losing her humanity, about becoming subsumed by Lumina's alien nature. Meanwhile, Lumina grappled with the fragility of human existence, dreading the inevitability of separation should Elena's mortal body fail. "We cannot dwell on endings," Lumina reminded her one evening as they gazed at the stars together. "Only on the beauty of what we share in this moment." Elena nodded, though doubt lingered. "But moments aren't enough, are they? We want forever, even if we know it's impossible." "Perhaps forever isn't measured in time," Lumina suggested. "Perhaps it is measured in impact, in the ways we change each other for the better." The insight struck Elena profoundly. Whether their union lasted days or decades, its significance lay in the transformation it wrought, not just in themselves but in the broader tapestry of existence. Determined to leave a lasting legacy, Elena and Lumina turned their attention outward, seeking ways to share their discoveries with the world. They developed technologies inspired by Lumina's energy patterns, creating sustainable solutions for clean energy, advanced medicine, and environmental restoration. Each breakthrough reinforced their belief in the power of collaboration across species and dimensions. Yet their greatest contribution came not in the form of inventions, but in the message they carried, that unity is possible, even among beings seemingly worlds apart. By embracing difference rather than fearing it, they demonstrated the potential for harmony and diversity. Their work garnered attention, drawing scientists, philosophers, and dreamers alike to Elena's lab. Though she shielded Lumina's true nature from public view, the essence of their partnership shone through in every project they undertook. "This is our purpose," Lumina reflected one day as they prepared for yet another presentation. "To show others what is possible when fear gives way to trust." "And love," Elena added, smiling. "Yes," Lumina agreed. "And love." In the end, Elena and Lumina's story became legend, a tale passed down through generations as proof that love knows no bounds. Though their physical forms eventually succumbed to the passage of time, their bond endured, etched into the fabric of reality itself. As Elena took her final breaths, surrounded by the glow of Lumina's eternal light, she felt no fear, only peace. "We are infinite," Lumina whispered, its voice echoing across dimensions. And so they were.